What if you could touch the internet? It doesn't glow. That's the first surprise. When they finally make it tangible, when engineers in California and researchers in Zurich unveil the interface, it doesn't look like light or code or holograms. It looks like glass, a thin, flexible membrane no larger than your palm, slightly warm, almost breathing. They call it a haptic mesh interface. The media calls it something simpler. The first way to touch the internet. At first, it sounds like a gimmick. Another Silicon Valley overpromise. But this one doesn't project images into the air. It doesn't require goggles. It doesn't simulate reality. It converts live network data into physical sensation. Bandwidth becomes pressure. Traffic becomes vibration. Data density becomes texture. And suddenly, the abstract becomes tactile. The prototype launches quietly in San Francisco, then rolls out through select labs in London and Berlin. Financial institutions adopt it first. Traders at major banks in New York press their palms against the membrane and feel market volatility as subtle tremors. A surge in European energy prices pulses as a ripple across the surface. When Asian markets open, the texture shifts. For the first time, global activity isn't numbers on a screen. It's something you feel, and that changes behavior because humans trust touch more than sight. Sight can be manipulated. Charts can be framed. Headlines can exaggerate. But when your hand rests on a live stream of global traffic and you feel a spike, a literal surge, your instincts react differently. Soon, cybersecurity firms in Washington begin using it. Instead of staring at dashboards, analysts run their fingers across the mesh. Distributed denial of service attacks feel like static storms. Malware infiltration feels like a slow, invasive pressure creeping from one corner to another. Threat detection becomes instinctive. In Europe, regulators debate whether this counts as surveillance technology. In America, venture capital floods into companies building applications on top of it. Social media platforms experiment with sentiment layers. When public discourse grows hostile, the surface feels rougher. When engagement spikes, it tightens. Teenagers in Los Angeles line up to try it at tech expos. Influencers describe the feeling of trending as a heartbeat. For the first time, virality isn't abstract validation. It's a pulse against your skin. But here's the novel shift no one predicts. Addiction evolves. Scrolling was visual. Dopamine came from novelty. But touch is older, more primal. The human nervous system prioritizes tactile input over almost everything else. When you can feel attention, physically, it rewires feedback loops. In Chicago, a journalist begins keeping her hand on the interface while publishing articles. She feels public reaction in real time. Approval smooths the surface. Outrage creates sharp, micro vibrations. She doesn't need to check comments anymore. Her nervous system absorbs the internet directly. In Berlin, a day trader refuses to rely solely on charts. He trusts the tremors. The market feels wrong today, he says, and adjusts his portfolio before a minor correction. He can't explain it analytically, but his hand sensed instability. By mid-2027, the second-generation device becomes thinner, wearable, a strip along the forearm, subtle, continuous contact. Now the internet is always touching you back, and something changes culturally. Online arguments in America cool slightly, not because people become kinder, but because hostility now feels unpleasant. When discourse turns toxic, the device produces coarse friction. Users describe it as holding sandpaper. Platforms claim it's an engagement transparency feature. In Paris, Digital artists begin composing tactile experiences. Instead of music, they designed texture symphonies. Synchronized global data turned into orchestrated sensation. London museums install live internet weather walls, where visitors run their hands across shifting geopolitical climates. But there's a darker layer. Governments notice how effectively tactile cues shape perception. If volatility feels alarming, policy feels urgent. If economic growth feels smooth and stable, confidence rises. Subtle modulation becomes possible, not censorship. Calibration. Reduce the harshness of negative economic sentiment during fragile quarters. Amplify the smoothness of stability messaging before elections. The adjustments are small, almost undetectable. But touch bypasses skepticism. When something feels calm, you believe it. The real twist emerges in New York during a brief financial scare. Markets dip sharply after an unexpected policy announcement. Millions of connected devices vibrate in unison. A low-frequency tremor spreads across offices, homes, subways. People feel instability simultaneously. Panic amplifies. The physical sensation spreads faster than headlines. Within hours, regulators request emergency dampening protocols. Engineers reduce the intensity output. The tremor softens. Markets stabilize. Later analysis reveals something unsettling. The sensation didn't just reflect volatility, it contributed to it. For the first time in history, the internet doesn't just inform emotion, it transmits it physically. Europe responds with strict tactile neutrality regulations. The EU mandates standardized sensation scaling, preventing private companies from altering emotional intensity beyond objective data thresholds. America debates similar legislation, but innovation pressure slows consensus. Meanwhile, ordinary people adapt. Couples in Boston hold hands while streaming long-distance video calls, sharing subtle pulses that mirror each other's speech rhythms. Parents in Madrid monitor their children's digital environments by sensing sudden hostility, spikes through bed devices. The boundary between online and offline dissolves completely. You no longer log in, you connect your nervous system. And after a year, something profound happens. Silence becomes rare. When servers briefly go offline during a major cloud outage in Virginia, millions experience something like phantom limb syndrome. The absence of sensation feels wrong, empty, as if a limb fell asleep. People didn't realize how much they had outsourced intuition to the mesh. Before, the internet was something you looked at. Now it's something that touches you back. And once humanity accepts that exchange, once sensation becomes data, and data becomes sensation, the relationship changes permanently. The internet is no longer a tool, it's an atmosphere. And the most novel realization of all, when you can finally touch the internet, you realize it's been touching you all along.